Hello, everyone. It is Monday. Monday, I tell you. How are you this Monday night? Let's grab the glasses so I can see. I want to see how great you are this Monday. I'm coming back here. Boom. I got the glasses now. Now I can see. Hey, Kitty, how are you this Monday night? Great to have you here live. What are you grateful for this Monday night? I'm grateful to have you here this Monday night. Excited for everybody to be here. Excited for it to be Monday. A little cooler today and rainy here in New England. We are broadcasting tonight live on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube we're broadcasting on. Any problems with Facebook, you can check the comment section and Cassandra will have the link over to YouTube right in there for you. Thank you. Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it is treat time. Treat time, I tell you. Hey, a lot of merchandise processed. I love hearing that. Love hearing that. Love watching that merchandise get to the floor. From your out to the floor means out the door. Out to the floor means out the door. You know, it is one step closer to the door. Right there. To the door. Get it out of there. We were processing today as well. I know my team was. I was desking today. Actually, I didn't cross off the last thing I finished. I'm going to go over here in my list and cross something off. That was a big one. That was a big one that I just finished just before coming live tonight. So I have crossed a lot off my list today. It's been a day at the desk, which is the desk needed it. The desk needed it. I needed it. It was good to get a lot done today. But it is the start of a new week here. We're the start of week 8182. 8182 is where we are on this 4th of October. The 4th, I tell you. May the 4th be with you. I know that's not an October thing, but hey, let's go with it. We need all we can get in this period of Mercury retrograde. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start today. And today we are starting on page 8. Good morning. Lead with gratitude. The air in the lungs, in your lungs, the sky above you. Proceed from there. There is your day. And there is our quote of the day from Simon. The hardest part is starting. Get that out of the way, and the journey is much easier. The hardest part is starting. Get that out of the way, and the journey is much easier. Yeah, Kitty, I have. I haven't seen the news, but I knew that. How's that? I haven't seen the news because I've been off that. But and that's what I was. You have summarized my whole topic for tonight. You've summarized my whole topic for tonight. I had a different topic, and I'm going to use that tomorrow night. Actually, it may be a couple night topic, but I'll tease it before I end tonight. I'll tease it for you tonight. But yes, today is what is your business dependent on? What is your business dependent on? No, I'm glad you're on top of it because we're going to talk a little deeper on it. Because is your business only on Facebook? Is your business reliant on Facebook? Okay, that is so important. Facebook and Instagram today down for hours. Down for hours, actually most of the day for most people. It really depended on where you were in the country, when you got it back. I actually said to Cassandra, well, I'll be able to go on quickly tonight. Nobody's going to be able to tune in on Facebook. But, I've got people tuning in on YouTube tonight, So it's all good. And thankfully, my connections with Zuck, me and Mark are like this. He got this all working just before I came on so that you could all tune in. He said he'd have it back up by the time I was on tonight, and Mark did. So what more could I ask for? But and it's funny because like the other day I was watching this clip of Barbra Streisand on the James Corden show. Barbra Streisand was on the James Corden show. And she was doing carpool karaoke, which if you haven't seen his carpool karaoke, it really is funny. You don't even have to know the artist or like the artist. But his carpool karaoke it is really hilarious. And Barbra Streisand was on there, and she's like, and he's like, well, you're not like one of those people that, you know who I am, when I go there, that you pull that, I'm Barbra Streisand and I need a table or I need this or I need that. And she's like, well, no, but there was this one thing. And what was the one thing? It was the way Siri said Barbra Streisand, the way Siri pronounced it. So if you're Barbra Streisand and you have a problem with how Siri is working, who do you call? Well, she called Tim Cook at Apple. Okay, she just called up Tim Cook and said, hey, I don't like the way it's pronouncing my name. And that gets it fixed. I don't have that power with fixing Facebook, but it's only one aspect of my business. Okay, it is not my whole business. In so many stores, it has become their whole business, or it's the only marketing channel they rely on is Facebook or Instagram. And you don't own Facebook or Instagram. Put the internet side of it aside. You don't own Facebook or Instagram. You don't own your page on Facebook or Instagram. You don't. Yes, it can be your business name, but it can be gone in a New York minute. When Facebook and Instagram came back on today, you could have your page could have been gone. Your page could still be gone tomorrow for some reason that Facebook decides that you have not complied with the way they want you to operate. Okay? These things can be gone in an instant. Okay? Your pages, you do not own them. You don't own Facebook. You don't own Instagram. You don't own your YouTube site. You don't own your TikTok page. Your Pinterest page, your any of that. You do not own that. It is not a tangible thing. It is not like my glass of water. Okay, I own this glass of water. I own this glass. I own this bookcase. Okay, I own the phone that I'm talking to you on and the computer that is transmitting me right now. But I don't own what they are transmitting me on. The platforms that you are viewing me on, I don't own. And so they could say, Neil is done today. We don't like Neil. We don't like that he is supporting businesses. We don't like the way he's supporting people. He's off. And I'm done from that medium. But even for the way that I work, even for what I am here to do and to help you, I have another form of connection. For most of you, I have your email address. So it's a direct way to contact you. I have your phone number. You have to be using these mediums that you do not own. Okay, think of it as the newspaper. You don't own the newspaper. Okay, back in the days, for those of you who were in business back in the days when we had newspapers. Okay, you didn't own the newspaper. They didn't run your ad or you stopped advertising with them, you were over. Okay, and that is these mediums. And days like today, okay, where some of you came in today and said, we're going to have a great Monday. I've got so much great merchandise in over the weekend. We're gonna have $1,000 Monday because we're gonna go online with these purses, or we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have a great day. And you found you got nothing, zero, bubkiss even. You got bubkiss, okay? And if you have had no other way to contact your customers, if you didn't have a texting list, like I know Kitty has a great texting list, okay, who she can text and say, hey, Facebook's out, but I'm still here. You gotta come see all this great stuff. And her customers would come, okay? Or your own website, okay, where all these great items are up on your website. Okay, I couldn't go on Facebook Live, but all our great items we've been loading all morning on the website. And there are hundreds of great items available for you, brand new, only one available of each, right on our website, And so you have to capture something else other than this transient viewer that you don't control, that you do not own. Okay, it is more transient than a road stop on Route 66. I don't know. But it is these viewers you do not own. You are at the whim of the algorithms. The whim, which is worse than the whim of the wind. Okay, you are at the whim of these. And you are at the whim of whatever happens with their technology that you do not control, or what they think of your voice or the product that you're promoting that they don't understand, and they take you off. That is correct, Rose. Facebook owns your content. Your content is owned by Facebook. It is not owned by you. So don't confuse yourself with that. And take today's lesson. Today's lesson is a wake-up call. Boom, it is like a V8. It is like a V8. I should have had a V8. Well, some of you are saying that today because you're like, oh my God, what do I do? There was nobody at Facebook to take your call today when it wasn't working. There was not that there's anybody to take your call when it is working. You are nothing to them. You are everything to me, but nothing to them. Nothing. Okay? They don't even value your relationship enough to create a way for you to converse with them. They don't even value it enough to create a bad customer service department or a way for you to contact them. That is how unvaluable you are to them. That is how you are nothing. So it is important to build your business on more than just them. Your business needs, if your business is only built on being on Facebook, you have a problem. You have a problem. Yeah, there are so many, and the technology hacks will constantly be out there. You're never going to stay ahead of all of them. Okay, you're never going to stay ahead of all of them, especially when many of the bad actors are sponsored by governments. Maybe many of the bad actors that are doing this stuff are owned by governments and controlled by governments. So you're not going to beat that. Okay, if Facebook can't beat it, you're not going to beat it. But you can do these things to help your business. Okay, if you can't Facebook, you can't Insta, can you email your customers? Do you even have their email addresses? Do you track them? Do you collect them? Do you give your customers a reason to give them to you? Do you have a texting service? Do you have a rewards program that can send out push notifications? What ways do you have to communicate with your customers? And if Facebook and Instagram are your only things, or TikTok, or whatever it is, you can't be owned by one method of communication in today's world. That is what today shows you. And ultimately, you need things that you own. Okay. And two of the biggest ones right off the top are a a email customer list, an old-fashioned mailing customer list. No, I know they don't, that isn't as fast as a text or a Facebook, but people respond to it. I dare you to send a birthday coupon card out to somebody. They respond to it. They like the tangible. They like the tangible. People like holding things, like holding pieces of paper, and ones that come to them with their name on it. And don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? Email, texting, snail mail. Those are three that you can all own. And what's more, you can own the relationship. You can be personal. You can be personal. Just like I talked about the other night with emailing, the retail doctor Bob Phibbs said there's a 30% uptick in your email open rate by including a person's name in it. Radio, absolutely. All these methods are terrific. All these methods are things that you own and you control. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Great talking with you today, Kelly. So that is your mission. That is your mission. That is what you need to wake up tomorrow and look at and say, how do I take my Facebook Live sales and turn that into an email contact list? How do I take my email contact list and turn that into a texting list? How do I connect with my customers across multiple mediums, and more importantly, get it to a medium that I own? So yes, all these mediums are important. All these online things, even the ones you don't own, are important. But what's more important is the things you actually own, the assets you actually have. That is what is so important. That is the lesson that today teaches you, okay? It was a wake-up call. Are you listening? Your business was calling. Are you listening? Are you aware? Are you there for it? And there are so many other problems that happen across the internet today. I know Zoom had an issue at one point. There's lots of different things that can happen if you don't control the medium, if you don't control the message, if you are dependent upon somebody else, if you are dependent upon somebody else to feed your business. You don't want to be dependent on these platforms that you do not own, that you have zero control over. It's not like you can take all your Facebook users and hop on over to MySpace or to Twitter or to something else. There's not a direct export for that, okay? And I know I'm making up stuff for names of services, but you want to be on a service that you control, that you have access to, that you have access to people for. I mean, just look at all the great support networks of all the NARTS affiliates. They are there for you. They are there to support you. There's a real person you can contact. And I use that as an example because it is so important. That there's a real person, that there's a real thing behind it. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. A couple other quick things for you to keep in mind on this Monday night before I go off to dinner. Before I smell dinner out there. I smell dinner. I will do that. I gotta set that up. I couldn't set that link up for you because Facebook wasn't working. Shopify. Remember a couple months ago, they gave you access to their Shop Pay installments for free. That is coming to an end. And for most of you, that'll be not a big deal because a high percentage of your orders are not coming in with that, but it is adding on business. Shop Pay is their pay in 4 thing, but it costs you about 5.9% plus 30 cents a transaction. And if a high percentage of your Shopify sales are coming in that way, that's an issue. We need to look at the cost for your business and how you're incorporating that extra cost into your into the amount you're charging for things. If it's a small portion of your business and it's incrementally adding to it, look at it, that extra cost as an advertising expense, and that's not a big thing. But know that the free ride on it is coming to an end October 15th. So just 10 days away, basically. 10 days away that is coming. I had one other thing here for you. I had my quote of the night. I had another quote for you. I had another quote for you today. And Shopify, great question, Kelly. Will it be used automatically or do we opt in or out? Your shopper has to opt into it. Shopify made it so you had to opt out of it. Okay, so it's already been on every Shopify site unless you opted out of it, but you haven't been paying extra for it. It October 15th, it goes to you paying extra for it. So roughly an extra 3% it's going to cost you to take Shop Pay. They're paying for a service. But a lot of stores, it hasn't been widely used by the customer. So that's, just something to keep in mind. I think it will get used some this holiday season. But if it's only a small part of your business and it's adding to bigger sales and things, I would say keep it. I would say keep it for right now. Kelly, I would say look at what you should be able to see in Shopify, what you have done with Shop Pay so far. And if it has been a small amount of your total Shopify sales as a percentage, I would say keep it. If it has been a high percentage, I would probably say keep it, but we need to account for the cost. So we need to look at how we increase prices or fees so that you can account for that cost so you're not losing money on it. So either way, it's probably a keep, but it's whether you need to adjust your pricing for it is the question. Yeah, most stores it's been a small amount because you also haven't been overly pushing it. I know I have a few customers that use it. I have more. I'm opted in on Sezzle, and I have a lot more customers that use that, but still not a tipping point to worry about it from an expense standpoint, especially where they're a high repeat customer. They start to pay one off, and then they shop again, which is a nice thing. Our quote tonight, our ending quote tonight from Maya Angelou: when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Yeah, everybody's partnering with a different one. Affirm, Klarna, PayPal, Sezzle. Everybody is partnering with one of these guys, and it is interesting. It is. But you as a merchant need to be aware of what's being used on your site and how you're accounting for the cost. Peloton has venture capital, so they have a way of accounting for the cost. It is how you don't have venture capital, so you need to figure out where that fits into your cost plan. If it is just bringing you incremental additional sales, not worried about it. But if it becomes a high portion of your business, then we need to build in the cost. Think of the furniture store that offers 60-month free financing. Well, it's not 60-month free financing, okay? And it costs them more money up front, just like these afterpay plans, these pay in 4 plans. And you have to just work in the cost into the price, okay? It's always there in the price. You're always paying, let me tell you, either as a customer or as a merchant. My tease going into tomorrow. My tease for you let's not call it a tease. Let's call it your homework for tonight. Something for you to think about. You've heard the phrase, there's no I in team. There's no I in team. Okay? You've all heard that. I'm going to ask you, is that right? Is that true? Is that true? Think about that tonight. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be deep, people. Think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this video and everything I talk about goes over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. All the files, all the links, all the references, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yeah, ring the bell so you know when another one drops. 42 days till Disney. Just saying. You can also share it with all your friends in business. The butcher, the baker, the ice cream maker. We're going to help everybody make it to the other side. I'm here live in the Nards Private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube every night at more 8-ish. But if you have a question in between, you can just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. That's how we roll every night. Tonight, we're on page 8. If you're following along in the book, our good morning today is good morning. Lead with gratitude. The air in your lungs, the sky above you. Proceed from there. Our good night tonight is good night. Curl up with gratitude. From the ground beneath you, your beating heart. Proceed from there. Yeah, we do that every day. We reach deep some days, but we find what we are grateful for each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8-ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. It's time for dinner.